We're gonna try something new today. This is a brand new kit from Amazon. Some tools that you don't find in your regular toolbox, everybody. My son has a fairly new Nintendo Switch, and it simply slid off of his lap and landed like this on the ground. This button no longer functions. These are screws that have like a tri-star design. They're not a Pentalobe screw, they are like a tri-star design. This kit on Amazon was, I want to say, somewhere around $6, okay? And it doesn't have a nice fancy box or anything. Reviews said that it had what you needed for the Switch. It doesn't say that in the advertisement, but it said it in like reviews. People had purchased it. So here we have, this looks like a very small Phillips. This looks like this is a small Torx. This is another small Torx. That right there shows that it is a tri-star. So inexpensive little kit. So we're gonna go ahead and disassemble this Switch controller here. And we have 1, 2, 3, and 4 of these screws. One thing I never ever really appreciate is when manufacturers use multiple lengths of screws. We're gonna find out right now if that's the case. And something I like to do is I like to lay them out in in an order that they came out in. Those are both the same length, which is awesome. This is going to mostly be an exploratory disassembly here because I don't have any parts. I just have something now to get into it. I'm gonna try to do this with my fingernails here real quickly. Yeah, it works best with my fingernails. This little tool here, it will just get absolutely bludgeoned. Okay, so we've got first layer disassembled here. Pretty neat, everybody. If you've never seen inside one of these Joy-Cons, it's a very simple device. If I recall correctly, this just slides out. Yep, there we go. So we went ahead and disconnected that one. I do want to go ahead and remove the battery here if I can as well. Okay, the power connector is right in here. It's a very, very, very small connector. I think we have to get under here and pop the battery out, if I recall correctly. Yep, okay. There we are. I'm actually just gonna fold this battery over. These are Phillips screws in here. So you have 4 holes. If you notice, this hole and this hole go straight through. It basically does not attach to this, and it goes down through the board below it. This one and this one, the head of the screw is actually on the plastic. So we're gonna go ahead and remove this screw here. And I believe my battery tray is going to come out. Okay, nice magnetic tip. Everybody, I'm really pleased with the quality and the feel of these screwdrivers. Machined aluminum handles, rotating top cap here, O-rings right here. Really nice. I mean, we don't need snap-on to take apart a controller. There's another screw right here. This would definitely, if you started prying too much, we've got another one right here. So far, all of these screws have been the same size as far as the same like color and the same function. They've all been the same size, which is awesome. All right, here. I'm not seeing an apparent issue. Let's see if, because this is the switch right here. Okay, yes, I do see it. Oh boy, that is fragile. Fragile connections, everybody. Yes, the connector has separated. So this switch right here, the mechanical portion of the switch did not fail. At first glance, you'd think there'd be nothing wrong. And also it doesn't feel like anything's wrong because the button is working fine. What's nice about this is that I would call this fairly repairable. Okay, this right here is not too big of a deal. This assembly here, this board attaches to this board, and then this board attaches via this ribbon cable to here. Okay, so this right here is it's a latch type thing. I believe this flips up, so let's see what happens here. And remember, on everybody, it's important that you don't force any of this stuff here. There we go. I went ahead and flipped up the switch, or the latch. And we're gonna go ahead and wiggle that out here. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and remove this screw here. So if you've dropped your controller on the ground and the buttons quit, that is likely the issue right there. So I don't know if the foil ripped off of the board. It probably has. What a fragile setup. I mean, the switch is likely to take small little, I mean, this was not dropped off of a countertop. This was dropped 16 inches. We have concrete, and then we have just an area rug. Okay, but essentially these connections right here is what failed. Parts have come from Amazon. You can get these off of eBay. You can get them from other places online. Here's the new one. I'm gonna go ahead and open this up. I haven't even looked at it yet, to be honest with you. Old right here, new right here. It looks like the same exact part. It's got like the same, it looks like there's no variation on the part. So that's excellent. I don't know, obviously Nintendo is not, they're sourcing out parts from someone. So this folds over like that, right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and slide this in here. There's a latch on here. This little gray latch. This latch right here is so you can unlock it and then you flip it back over to lock it into place. Now, what's hard to tell sometimes on these is that you have the connector all the way seated in. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and use this once more to make sure we've slid this all the way in. I'm pretty sure we're seated to the back there. And then I'm gonna go ahead and take this latch right here and we're gonna flip it down. Okay, now everything looks good in parallel. Looks like it's seated in there. It doesn't look like this is cocked or anything. Take this right here. Have to go ahead and reattach this down. I'm not sure about the orientation of this piece right here. There's this one edge here. There's no detent anywhere. I don't know why it is like that, in all honesty. So my son and I, we've set it in there both ways. Again, it fits seemingly just fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and stick that in there like that. This goes in here like this. That sits in there like that. This then sits right here. I'm gonna go ahead and screw that on. Screw that down, I should say. And everyone, be gentle with the threads. They are not super, super stout. I'm gonna go ahead and hold this down and see if this presses. That button feels fine. Everything looks seated in there nicely. I do have one more screw right here as well. Go ahead and put this right here. Okay, move over so the camera can see, hopefully. And there we are. If you don't have patience for small things, small electronics repair is not for you. You can't force anything, okay? You know what? I think it goes in right here. I think it goes right here. Yep, that's where it goes. That's why it wasn't fitting.
Does it go black way up?
No, because that's insulated. Okay, now.
Tight?
Okay, yep, it's in there.
Yes!
Interesting. Got to get the button back in now. But this actually comes into the back side here, which makes sense. So I was trying to do that wrong. Springs in there. There it is. It's kind of in there crooked. It's no longer crooked. There we go. Got to leave this off to the side here, splayed out. And these ones need to go in here now. I was about to make a mistake again. Boy, little small controller. There it is. That way, right?
There, yeah. There you go.
And then this one, I believe right here, let me just make sure. Pretty sure it's just a press fit, but let me just make sure there's no latch on this one. Oh, there is a latch. All right, so this one, and so this answers it right here. See, the connectors are facing up on this one. When it inserts from the backside here, the connectors go up. When the circuitry, like this one and this one, the connectors flip this way. Pretty ingenious connectors, everybody. This is common in almost every bit of electronics that you can find. Phones are smaller now. A lot of those are press-on connectors. But you'll find this in computers. You'll find this everywhere. All right, now we're going to go ahead and flip this over here. We've made all of our connections. We now need to go ahead and we have two of these longer screws. They're the gold screws right here. Go ahead and put these through here. Second gold screw. Now this battery is going to lay back over. Guys, it would be advisable if you can to get that battery unplugged. I simply am a little bit nervous with these small gauge wires here, trying to pull this out. That kind of stuff drives me crazy. This just basically folds back up in here. We'll make sure we're not pinching anything, make sure nothing's sticking out anywhere. And it looks good, so I'm gonna go ahead and snap it together. Okay, we've got lights blinking, so that's a good sign. I'm gonna go ahead now and we're gonna go ahead and put these screws back in. These is that tri-head screw. Got 4 of these. This is why I had to buy the special kit. The entire repair, you know, we're in about $7 for the screwdrivers and about $5 to $6 Amazon Prime for the actual switch. So really affordable. Now I did see kits where they sold just the single screwdriver and the switch, the actual L button by themselves. I'm sorry, as like a package. And I saw those for around $10 or $11. So if you already have the screwdriver set, you know, you're talking about a $6 repair. Not a big deal. How much are these?
Each controller around $30.
Okay, so they're about $30 a piece. Refurbished. I bet you many of them have had a button like that go bad. Mm-hmm. I would not be concerned about sourcing that L button. I have a suspicion they're pretty readily available and you're not going to find a extremely poor quality one. I don't know. I mean, I could be wrong, but anyway, so now let's make sure this clicks. Feels good. That feels excellent. Everything looks to be working. Now this was a special edition Pokemon Joy-Con, so that's why we really wanted to fix this, was because you can't just buy this. And I thought about buying a new one and then just putting the cover on it. But again, you know, $10 to repair it, between $10 to $15. I'll put links in the deal, in the description. But there we go. Okay, thanks for watching. This is, again, not my normal content, but I do everything. We around here, we try to repair everything ourselves that we can. It's the best way to be thrifty. Have a good one. Okay, here comes the real test. Right, everybody? So, here's the Pokemon Switch. You can see, as I mentioned earlier, that, you know, we wanted to get this Joy-Con right because this was a special Switch. So we're gonna go ahead and see what she does here. Got that? So this is gonna be the test.
There and there. Clicking at the exact same time.
Did it work? Okay, we have a functioning Switch controller here. Look at that. So I can click the left click and that bounces right there. And then right controller, that bounces. Oh, that's cool. Working? Is doing what it's supposed to do?
Yay!